You're famous for planting.
You're for the president.
My husband's with Virginia. So we like the husband. But we like to go to
Bagian bersih, Mambule ini mana ada, dia berada. Mana pasoko, ini pasok di pikiran, ini. Padahal politik, jadi different. Wajib aja satu lapang yang punya, jalan di selalu. Jadi macam problem tadi. Pada benda, benda gue ini, it's a mirage. It is similar to what we do now. They are expensive. Some families are really. No, some are no, right in the past. Two things. The university, the science park. Science, Eriya north of camp. Eriya north of camp. Eriya the northern part. Eriya Silicon Valley. Java IT, Babanga, electronics, even that. They pay a lot of money. Kakati, I will by million. After they go, bagaimana money is 3,000 people. Bawa competition. No international. So they will pay them 6 figures. So the native in the country will find it very difficult to live in the country. Saya kan pukul di depan, pukul di orang orang pukul di bawah pada Bana wa community society.
You guys come line up to eat now.
Is everybody done? Okay. What do you say? So, what can you do?
tribute to my late dad. But first of all, I would like to thank God for his life, from beginning to the end, that he lent him to us, and he has been a blessing to so many people. I would also like to thank everyone for everything that they have done. About Deus Sente, those who have made calls, prayers, words of comfort, everyone who has done such a great thing to give my late dad a good send-off. And I missed my flight, so I don't know if I'll make it in time for church tomorrow. But I would like to just give a tribute to the memory of my late dad. But I've been wondering, where do I start? What do I say about a man who loved people so well, had such a big heart? And not that he was an angel, he was not an angel, he was far from that, but he really had such a big heart, was very intelligent guy. He talked who loved he loved so many. He had such a big heart, and he was equally loved by so many people. So it's words fail me to give a tribute to him, but I'll try. I will. I'll try. I've known him to be my dad all my life. I grew up knowing he was not around when I was born. He was in the UK, but I grew up with that identity. Muwala wa Sewa ali ebweru, and he also had that identity. Ina muwala we Nakanja, of course. So all my life, that's what we have known. And he came back in 1986, and that's quite a story of its own. But I didn't stay with him. Okay, for the first part, but later I began to stay with him. And for me, my dad has had two identities. One is he was my biological dad, and that's something I've grown to accommodate and grow up into. But he was also an uncle. So sometimes it's like half dad, half uncle. Nga buli omu amuyita uncle waka, and so because of that, we had a mutual agreement between me and my dad. It was not on paper but silent, that I go on calling him uncle. He didn't like it, but somehow I think we learned to reconcile the two. And so I remember him on two, as a dad, as a friend, as an uncle. My dad was handsome, and he knew it. And he was also very intelligent guy. If you interacted with my dad, you knew that he was a very, very, very intelligent guy, but he didn't show off. And then he was also very classy. He loved classy things, and he was not mean in his love for classy things. If he saw something which he thought was good for someone, he would give it to them. And so that's the biggest legacy that he leaves behind, his kind heart. And we've seen that through the inflow of gifts and financial contributions. And so I'll remember, what do I say next? What my relationship with him, it was work in progress. And so by the time he passed on, he knew me well, and I knew him well. And my dad knew that I could never lie. There are things he would put his foot down for me. And then the other thing is, I'm going to miss him because there's a way he understood me. I didn't have to explain myself, whether I was in the wrong or I'm right. There's a way he understood me, and I'm really going to miss that, because I would call him about anything, whether I've done something bad, and I'll tell him, look, I did this, and he would laugh it off. I'm going to miss the excitement in his voice. His voice he had that excitement, like he has won a lottery. Every time you talk to him, it's like that excitement. And so many things, and I'm really going to miss him, the conversations, but I know that he's in a better place because he gave his life to the Lord. And as his daughter, I'm going to I'll keep his memory with me for forever, knowing that I'll see him. But I thank God that He lent him to us, and I thank God I had the opportunity to pray for him, and that's something He thanked me later. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you for your prayers, everyone who has prayed for us and supported us and made sure that I go. Uncle Lukman, thank you very much. Senga, you've done a great job. Esther Bear, thank you. Timothy, thank you very much. Timothy behind the camera, he was such a darling. But I'm going to miss him, and I know many people are going to miss him. But let's all work to get to be with the Lord like him. Okay, bye, and may God keep us strong.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today to celebrate the life of my dear brother, Uncle Sewa. For anyone who does not know me, my name's Esther Miwanda and I live in the United States. I am here today as the Musika, heir to Muchalale Ssali Mambule, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your overwhelming support. Growing up in Ngora, I have known Uncle Sewa all my life. Uncle Sewa was not only my brother, he was my best friend. Many of you with older brothers could relate to the designated role that older brothers automatically assume to protect their younger sisters from their wannabe boyfriends. Yet, between me and my Uncle Sewa, that role was always almost reversed. Instead, it was my role, my duty, to protect Uncle Sewa from his wannabe girlfriends. Today, I would like to share this one particular memorable love story between my Uncle Sewa and my roommate. Uncle Sewa used to come and visit me almost every weekend when I was enrolled at Makerere University. We would go out to eat, fish, chips, and each time he would innocently ask if I wanted to bring my roommate with us. To which question I would always say, nah, she does not need to come. I was very protective. We would argue back and forth in our code language at ESO because we never wanted my roommate to know what we were talking about. Disappointingly, my roommate would always say yes to joining us for the outings. After many outings, I realized that my Uncle Sewa and my roommate were seeing each other. Boy, I was very upset, most especially because my Uncle Sewa did not seek my opinion this time. When I confronted him for going behind my back, he simply stated that he was in love. Now, please allow me to take this opportunity to apologize to my roommate, Muchara Aaron, aka Mama Ssali. I am sorry for my uncle's shortcomings that pulled you further away from each other. Most importantly, please never doubt how much my Uncle Sewa loved you. He truly loved you dearly, and I'm grateful for our special bond. To families and friends of Uncle Sewa, thank you so much for your support. We are forever grateful.
My grandfather's name was Sewankambo Ssali. I am so sad that he passed on, but I still remember all the good things he used to do for us. He bought for us very many things. He got for us ropes, clocks, and smartwatches. I am so sad that he passed on, but I know now he's in a better place. May his soul rest in peace on behalf of all the grandchildren.
olino tugikuwadde.
nze ndowooza kyonna naye si lwaleero bane mbalamusizza mu biti byammwe okusingira ddala chairman abadde atulungamya mu nsonga eno okuviira ddala we twafunira amawulire gano. Tiimu ey'e Uganda nayo okuva lwe twafuna amawulire gano, obukiiko bwombi akatono n'akabaddewo olukiiko olunene, mwenna mu biti byammwe mbalamusiza era njagala okubeebaza. Naye nze byenja okugezaako okwogera ebitonotono ku mukulu Sewa. Mukulu Sewa oyo tweddira omuziro gumu bampita David Kiwanuka oba osoosa David Lukwago n'osemberayo Kiwanuka, musajja mufumbo n'omukyala wange Christine Kiwanuka yabadde asinga okuba mu ddoboozi emabega. Nina abaana basatu, nina Shalom, Samantha ne Sasha. Kano okujjako nti kati tweyongeddeko gwe bankwasa mu butongole Nakanjako, Ssali, Timo, abo baba bankwasa mu butongole. Kakati omukulu oyo mbadde sitera nnyo okwagala kwogera lwa nsonga mbadde mbeera nnyo naye ebbanga ddene, emisana n'ekiro. Nze simukubirangako ssimu wadde saa 8 gwa kiro oba mmeka n'atagikwata. Ne bwe bankubanga etonnya bwampita ŋŋenda Misinde, bwe mukubira oba ndi luddawa, ne bwe bankubanga etonnya ajja. Kuba waliwo olunaku lumu nali nina vaani nene sino naagwa okumala nga wiiki. Kubidde nina wendaga nenkubira abawerako, ninamukubira saa 8 ogw'ekiro naŋŋamba jangu tuyiye. Nentambula neŋŋenda ewaka ewuwe nanga kanyambale n'ayambala ne tujja. Tuli babiri ekiro saa 8 ogw'ekiro mu luguudo wakati mu Sino nga ne baasi leero ne poliisi teyita. Ne tugijjamu omwasi naye ng'amagezi agasinga gaabakwani ku ye. Kati ye ekyo bwe yakinkolera kyansoomooza nnyo obulamu bwange. Ne ŋŋamba ku nsi waliyo omuntu asobola okukola kino ne eremeddwa. Naye ne nkubira omuntu mu kiro gwe saateesezza naye saa 8 nanga jangu tuyiye kuba we nalina okugenda nalina okugenda okukola. Kati nze nina bingiko mu ludda olwo olw'okuba nti namusanga nga tasangikasangika, akolera ekintu n'omutima gumu, awataliga nti ajja kusuubiramu okumusasula oba watali kugamba nti akusuubiramu akasente. Kati omutima ogwo njagala okubasaba tugufubeko okulaba nti naffe tusaba Katonda agutwazikeko, kubanga gwe ogusobozesezza okuba nti buli gwokubira ku museewa agamba siyinza kusirika, siyinza kulekayo, siyinza butawaayo, siyinza butava mu kitanda, siyinza butayamba. Era yo nsonga lwaki nti abantu banguye okuwaayo sente naye ng'ate abantu tebalina. Naye wakiri yeerekereza naga sijja kulya kyaggulo ne kampeeri olwa Seewa kubanga nga balaba tebalina bwe bajja kumusasula kimala. Kati ne kimpa nnyo okwongera okuyiga mu nsi nti tufube okulaba nti tusiga abamu basiga mu bya bizimbe, naye njajja basaba tuyige okusiga ate ensigo mu bantu, mu kubayamba oba mu kubawuliriza oba mu kubafaako, kukikola enjawulo y'amaanyi omulamu bw'omuntu. Nze ku bintu ebyo nina bingi byabadde tujja nga tuyitaayitamu nga tukwasaganya ffenna, naye kugamba byampa okuba nti mwagala n'omutima gwange gwonna. Nze nafiirwa taata wange, nfiirwa maama wange, taata wange, nfiiriddwa bamaama abato, nfiiriddwa baganda bange. Maze n'omukyala wange n'emyaka 2 sikabangako. bafa nembaziika ne taata wange yanfaako mu ngalo nemuziika, mukulu wa mukoddomi wange nali mwagala nnyo yanfaako mu ngalo nemuziika, nesikabanko obulamu bwange. Naye mukulu chairman oyo mujulizi yankubira nemugasobola kwogera maanyi gampeddemu nga mpulira obulamu bugenda, kugamba yankuba kyankuba wala. Ninjagala okubazaamu amaanyi mikwano, abaana abooluganda, waliwo Katonda omulamu eyatutte mukulu wange Sewa, oyatutte mukwano gwaffe, eyatutte muganda waffe. Katonda oyo agenda kubanyweza, mumwekwate era mukkirize nti Katonda mulamu, asobola okunyweza obulamu bw'omuntu. Katonda n'akuwa omutima omupya omugumu, n'akuwa ebirowoozo ebipya ebigumu, n'akuwa essuubi eppya, n'akuwa obulamu entandikwa empya. Era abantu temuggwamu maanyi kugamba nti kati bikomye. Ffenna weetuli mu bulamu buno naye tetumanya ani addako, ng'era chairman bwe yagambye nti si byambu oba biki, kyekkubo ffenna liri erimu, naye omu yasookako munne. Nga bira tuba tutambula okunoona emmere, ffenna tulidde naye buli ffe tetwagendedde wamu. Kati nalino kkubo bwe lijja okubeera, naye ekirala nfuba okulaba nti oleka omukululo mu nsi, namba emu omukululo omulungi abantu kwe banaakujjukirira, naye ate ojjukire nti ne wagyolaga weesibidde oba entanda oba ekitereke, kubanga Katonda ye mwetegefu okwaniriza okusinziira mu nsi engeri gy'oyiseemu ne banno. Kati nze ndi mubuulizi, ensonga lwaki saagala nnyo okukwata butuuti bwe nkabeerako njogerera ddala ebbanga ddene. Kyokolayo mukyalo wange gwe mpa obudde ye n'ayogera, kubanga yatewuliza kuba wabigambo bitono, nze mba na bingi. Naye nja kubategeeza nti Seewa waffe ali ne Mukama Katonda waffe amukuumye era ajja kumukuuma, ate naffe tujja okumusangira. Nina Mukama abampeera omukisa.
Wenkima jjajjange bangambe nti sirina buli wenkima abeera jjajja, naye n'oweeka bwankima tojja kusimanyi. Bannange, it's been a real pleasure. Kubanga somehow we're talking okuteesa bannange ne banonda okubeera chairman, nsooka mpalira naye we eventually, and they convinced me that look, amongst all of us we should be the chairman. So there I end up the chairman, not because I impose myself on anybody, and any one of you can stand up and testify the fact that people are given a free latitude to discuss and come to a conclusion. Sewa, selfless as he was, the sad thing is gone. I honestly hope, as Mr. Dr. was saying, we will, the journey is the same. It is not if, it is when. So we should all be prepared for that eventuality. Everybody prepare for your eventuality, whether you like it or not. Can I ask one more person, whoever you are, who wants to give a testimony about Sewa? Stand up. Nakanyaku, are you going to say something? Yeah. Please.
Thank God that I've made it. Tambu Debubi, I cried all the way, but it's understandable. I used to think coming to London, you smile all the way. But mine has been tears all the way, but It's not the end of the world. Mine is to give thanks to God for lending us my dad. I've known him to be my dad since I was born. And I could write a book about him as my dad. And we shall tugenda kwogera. So, but since I'm the eldest, I spent the longest time until 10 years later. Timothy showed up and I was not amused because I was really spoiled. I was born when he was here. And he came back when I was 8, so he tried to make up for that time. And so he really spoiled me. Though I didn't like it, because by the time he came, those of you who know my Uncle Peter and the father figure that he was, had fitted in well into the family. The boys, and I had my part. I think I was we were only 2 girls and 5 boys, and I was loved. So when he came back, he came and became part of this family. So we all decided we are going to call him Uncle. So so that was my title, and he didn't like it at first, but we came to a mutual agreement that he's my dad. I call him Uncle, and for him,
Uncle Peter's dad.
Yes, Uncle Peter is dad, but he still treated me in that special way, and but he loved all of us, and and then later he came back. And so for me, I can't talk for Timothy and Ssali, but for me, our relationship was work in progress. Because after some time you realize, even if you call him uncle, he's still your dad. And so you realize, okay. So we began to grow together in that relationship, and we are now friends and everything. And everything that has been said about him is very, very true. He was very kind. Sometimes I didn't like that, because I used to want fathers are not as nice. Like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. He had this ability to talk to everyone at their level, and make you feel great. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that we grew up, I rarely had him call me by name. He used to have titles, Mchalana Kanjako, Mr. Agundi, Mr. this, Mr. that, and it was for everyone. So there are so many things which we can say about him, which he was not an angel, but he was very, I don't know. There are so many, we are going to have, he leaves behind a memory which we are going to have in our hearts for forever. It's hard to talk about him, talk about everything, but we are surely going to miss him. He had so many friends, and I think I'd look at the banja fabana, look at the banja denenyo, and I feel like that's because his love for people is hard to emulate. The heart he had for everyone. I don't know where he got it from, but I don't know whether he passed it on to me or I don't know. It's really big shoes to fill, but we are really, really going to miss him. The love he had for people, the genuine concern, the empathy.
the kindness. Sometimes you needed something, and then I remember I was at campus, and by then mobile phones had just come, and there was this girl who used to give me her phone to call him, and he became her friend so much, and that was always the norm. He began to send her clothes and everything, and I was thinking, oh, and her dad didn't used not to do the same thing for me. But this comes back to one thing that I think he has demystified the legacy of friends, because the overwhelming support that we have received has demystified or has blown or has it's like I've come to realize he was right, and I don't regret anything that he didn't give me for the sake of his friends. I don't regret his love and the fact that he poured out his life into many people. I don't regret much. I've been thinking, what do I regret about my relationship with Dad? And I found out if he was to live again, I would let him be, because the support that we have received, the genuine support, shows that sometimes your legacy is in your friends. And so that's what he has left us. And so we pray that we shall be able to live up to the legacy that he has left us. And so I'd like to thank everyone who has shown us so much support. We would not have made it without all of us. Muzukuru wafe, Uncle Paul, and all the people who have, who have worked with you on the committee, Kojawa, Uncle Pat. I think when it comes to my dad, he's more of a big brother than Koja, but he's my mom's younger brother. So I would like to thank all of you. It's hard to mention names because everyone has put in a lot. But may the Lord bless you. May He reward you in the way that He only knows. Our mother Aaron, thank you for keeping Dad and for loving him. And we are in this together. And the Lord will strengthen us. The Lord will see us through. Our new parents, the Chiwanukas, we are not easy children, I know. But you have big shoes to fill, because as I was saying, that one of the things with Dad is that he understood you the way you were. You didn't have to be a perfect child. And so for me, sometimes I think it's because he passed on most of his weaknesses to me. And so whenever I would tell him something that I've done wrong, he would make you feel like, okay, you got that from me. So yes, I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss, he never used to call us by names. He had nicknames for us. First he used to call me Big Head. And then I would say, but don't you see, we all had big heads. And then after that, he began calling me Kakoko, because Ssali used not pronouncing my name, so she called me Kakoko. So that became my name. So he ended.
And it's stuck.
And it's stuck, yes. So I could speak the whole, yes, but I'd like to thank Angie. I'd like to thank everyone for the friendship, for the love. I'm not going to mention any other names, because each and every one of you have played a very big role in his life, and we believe that you're going to continue playing the big role in our lives as well. So may the Lord bless you. I bring a lot of greetings from Uganda. Basenga bonna batata, the boys of Vubuka. Everyone has been really overwhelmed by the support from this side. And so they sent me with many, many, many greetings and thanks. And so may the Lord bless you. Andrew, my Obi, thank you very much for making this a worldwide thing. If I've not mentioned your name, it's not because I've overlooked you, it's because everyone has done a very big role. So may the Lord bless you. And thank you for praying for me in Sango Kuzika. Continue praying for us that we shall heal and move on.
Thank you, Anne. And I'm going to be very brief because I see my other dad, Warren. Warren would like to say something, and Mama and we're also running out of time. But for me, looking around, there's nothing I'm going to say that people don't know already about my dad. People don't know. And I think I didn't take up the gene of public speaking like my sister did, or like the love of speaking. But, and I envied that. I used to speak to him, I used to visit him once in a while, and he would be on the phone to friends, Uncle Pat, and I was like, what do you always talk about for hours, like multiple times a day? And you're speaking to people for hours. He'd come to see Warren, and I get home and Warren tells me, oh, Dad, your dad just left now. I'm like, he knows I come back home about this time, and he couldn't wait. And for him, it was that mostly it was his friends first. And so for me, my only thing here, the only reason I'm up here is just to say thank you. I'm not going to go around, because if I start, I'll be the whole afternoon thanking everyone, because you've all contributed in different ways, in various ways, like financial support. And me, I think, being in the center of all this, I've got most of the support, and it's helped me up. It's really, really, really helped me up. Like, I don't know how I would have coped, and I don't know how I would have managed to do both, like grieve and organize all this at the same time. So I'm very, very grateful for the support you've all provided us. And like I said earlier, that I'm sure we're going to be okay, because I know if anything about any issues, I can call Uncle John, I can call Uncle Pat, I can call Auntie Betty. I have people around, like I have Uncle Paul's there. I can call anyone, I can pick up my phone. I have almost everyone's contact here. I know I can pick up the phone, and I can get help. So thank you very, very much. And that's it for me. Warren and Mama. Warren, would you like to say something?
Yeah. No worry.
For me, to be a part of Eric's family. He's a good friend of mine. Sadly, and he was a real party man. And thank you. He was a real party man. And any situation, any problem, you talk to Eric, he'll sort it out straight away. And he is a person like, a person who could hold things together, like a mom putting shirt buttons together. And he was a kind-hearted man. And I know him for many years, and we had many discussions about especially winning the lottery. I said, one day, anyway, we'll win it one day, I said to him. And it's very sad that he had to go suddenly, because, but anyway, he's resting in peace, and he's with us in mind and in heart. And I think that many of us will never forget him, because he's a great man and a great human being. Thank you.
Sijja kwogera bingi abaana boogedde, mwena mwogedde, naye
nja kusaba mubeere naffe mu kusaba kuba tekijja kuba kyangu. Ssali Timone Nakanjako, Ssali wa myaka 13. Ati ekiseera kyagenda okugenda mu kiseera kijja kuba si kyangu. Nawe ngambira nti bannaye mujja tukwatirako nga bwe tuli. Bwe tuti bwe tuli nze Timothy Nakanjako. That's the family. Bwe tuyimiridde bwe tuti ne Ssali batalooke ngambira nti mujja tukwatirako. Bingi bye tutamanyi kukwata oba tunaabikwata tutya naye nja kusaba busabi bannange. Nga mutukwatiddeko temutulekulira. Sijja kwogera bingi okujjako okubaagaliza olugendo olulungi. Mukama abawe omukisa.
Yes. About 5 minutes. To wonderful. One almost last word, but not last. Brothers, like we talking about. Can you keep short? Not don't be too long. Half of one.
Half a minute. I'm counting.
That's oh, I'm
Stand there.
Where?
Just right, starting. You can face the camera.
Okay. Yes. Very organized. Abakungubazi mwenna nze nina okubeebaza ennyo, mwebale nnyo okuyamba okola mu community. Nze namanya Siiwa long time ago. Naye mbadde ndowooza namumanya ddi kikyannemye oconnectinga. Ffe tuludde kuno ennyo. Namumanyira, yes, thank you. Namumanyira ku Dr. Sekweyama. Ate ne tujja ne tusinkananga mu bika by'Abaganda. Kale ne tumanyiganya. Si wabadde wa kisanyo, wagonjebwa, ate ng'akuuma ebyama. Siiwa atugenzeeko mangu, naye maama Ssali weebale okumulabirira. Timothy mwenna ne Ssali mwenna mwebale, ne Anne mwebale okumulabirira. N'emikwano. Ekinyimiriza Kevin bwe yatuvaako nali kuba one of the organizers. Yatuvaako mangu mu kikangabwa ekyamaanyi. Nsonyiwa okubaleetera kino, naye bw'otoyogera ku Kevin ate oba toyogedde era ku Siiwa. Siiwa yayagala nnyo abaana be, naye afudde n'omutima gw'omwana we mu ngeri gye yagendamu. Kaakati mbadde nga ndaba Siiwa mutabani we ne tumuziika, Kevin ne tumuziika gye tubadde. Which is very good. Ngenda nendaba ku Kevin kubanga ne mutabani wange waali near by him. Naye bwe ntuusa awo n'enjukira ekintu kimu. Omusajja asimye entaana mmanyi kubanga I go there. Era bwe mbasobodde gendayo namugamba nti onkolerangako mutabani wange. Kakati tufiiriddwa abantu bangi nnyo in our community benmanyi ate nga tobamanyiiko katono nti nkusanga ku kyaki oba nga mbamanyi nnyo. Mu wiiki eno balinga bantu 5. Kinkubye wala nnyo nno ne kinzizaayo emabega. Naye bwe tubadde tusiibula Siiwa ekinzijidde mwenna abantu abakulu mufune abaana abato bemusika. N'abato mwegatte ku bakulu bababuulire bye mutamanyi. Kakati gwe omukulu bw'olwala obanga omulala mikwano gye tebaliiwo, abato abo be bakuyamba. Kakati nze nina essanyu
bwe ndiba nga siriwo mu nsi nazaala omwana omu bwe ndiba nga siriwo mu nsi Kevin bajja kugendanga balabe ewa mutabani wange era abasute Croydon bannange twegatte tube nga tuziika mu cemetery eyo tube nga tulina connection we tunasisinkananga omulala bw'aba tasobodde kulabirira malaalo ge omulala agendayo n'akola ki n'agalabirira abantu ffenna abakulu kati okyangu nnyo okugamba nti wandiika ekiraamo nawandiika ekyange naye kati nina okukikyusa naye ogenda n'olowooza nteeke mwani nga tomulaba kakati abantu batugamba muwandiike ebiraamo si byangu nze njogedde amazima ekyange sinaba kukiddamu kukiwandiika naye nga nja kukiwandiika kuba kati tetulina time buli woowulira nti oyagala okukola ekintu kati do it now, don't wait for tomorrow, do it now. Ate wetuuseeko buli kimu kyoyagala in life is too short. Ate those abasigaddeyo abatagenda mu community, please encourage people to go in the community and work in the community. The community is the one which is going to support you. You might be with other communities, but once you are gone, you are with your community. The community is going to support you, whatever, in all different ways. And trust God. Trust God, believe in God, go to church, do something. Don't just go there and pray. No, do something. People will always remember you. Sebo Mwami Paulo Kiseka, nsanyuse nnyo okumpa akakisa kano. Nate nkwagala nnyo kubanga bakitaffe bayagalana nnyo. Kale tumanyiganya okumanya n'omukyala ebbanga lyewala nnyo nga tuli bato. Tulina omukisa okusingaana kuno omuntu eyakumanya ng'oli muto. It's a blessing. Mwagalane, musonyiwagane. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala kumpuliriza. Thank you.
How many people want to say to us? Yeah, okay, young lady.
Oh, so firstly, I'd like to thank the people who rendered their services, who took the time to come. Took the time of their day to come. Also like to thank the committee for helping us. I'd also like to thank the people who donated as well. That was a big part of it, so thank you. Also like to thank the people who donated drinks, water, food, who helped cook the food, helped pay for the services. Thank you. That's it.
This has not been a moment of happiness, but an occasion of togetherness. For all of you that have turned up to this funeral, that have been here to listen to others, for those of you, fortunately, I've not heard anybody say anything negative about Sewa. Not that Sewa didn't have anything negative, but it is not worth talking about. No, Rachel, I can only thank you very much for turning up for my grandfather, call him grand uncle of Michima clan, who has been, we've had our run-ins, but those are very few and far in between. Sewa, to me, was like my little brother, grandfather as he was, because he was really dealing with my younger brothers. But he was very practical, very useful, and had ideas that really saw them through. They will definitely be of a lot of help. On that very good note about our late father, friend, uncle, grandfather, name it, I would like to say a very big thank you and bye-bye. Until we meet again, hopefully we'll meet in happier times than in sad times. But hey, it's not the end of the world. Sewa is gone, totally irreplaceable. You've got big shoes to fit, Timothy. Please, you people are here not because of you. They are here because of your late father. Keep that spirit. Keep people, connect with people. Help where you can. Be considerate. The world is a rough world we live in, but it has its good points. Keep to those good points. Be positive, be positive, be positive. I think people that have been in this committee that are organizing this, remember I was emphasizing one thing when we were having a problem of raising the money. People, but if there were no ifs and buts. We had a target. We made sure collectively that we will hit the target. And believe you me, that positivity, go with it. Never say never. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a very good night. I wish you good journey wherever you're going. And God bless. Thank you. Thank you.
I would just like to request that atuwayo sabiri nga tetunaba kufuluma wano. I hope that's appropriate.
That is not out of order.
Kitaffe nanyini ggulu n'ensi, nkwebaza Mukama olw'akawungezi kano, kubanga oli Katonda afaayo, Katonda omwesigwa, Katonda ajjudde ekisa ekitenkanika. Tukusaba ayi Katonda otutambuze mirembe bonna gye tulaga mu mawanga. Okusingira ddala tukwebaza ekigendera kye twalina mu lubereberye eky'okwerekera muganda waffe mu kitiibwa, taata waffe, mukwano gwaffe, okituukiriza. Era twongera okwebaza okukituukiriza. Tuteeka ennyumba ye Mukama mu maaso go, ennyumba ya muganda waffe mu maaso go, Mukama, era nga bw'owulidde basaba okuluŋŋamizibwa, basaba okuweebwa amagezi n'okutangazibwa mu byonna bye beetaaga mu buyambi bonna obwa buli kika. Gulawo amakubo Mukama eri obulamu bwabwe, eri amaka gaabwe, eri obulamu bwabwe. Mukama eri emitima gyabwe ogijjanjabe, owonye ebiwundu Mukama eby'omunda, kubanga omuntu w'omunda oyo Katonda gw'omuyinako obuyinza era gw'omusobola. Ffe tulaba byagungulu, naye wonya emitima gyabwe, wonya ebiwundu ebiri ku mitima gyabwe. Mukama bwe omukisa abo bonna abasobozza okubeeza emikolo gino ekitiibwa, okubeeza ekitiibwa. Sabye n'okukkiriza mu linnya lya Yesu Kristo Mukama waffe. Amen.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.